Hi guys, welcome to this video resource. Now, this resource is specifically designed to help our grade 2 learners in mathematics. We're talking about probability and particularly chance. So at the moment, we've been learning about our line of probability. And on that line of probability, we've been discussing some events are certain to happen, they might be impossible, they may be an even chance of happening, and they can also be likely or unlikely. Now, the purpose of this video in particular is to help clear up some potentially confusion or maybe some lack of understanding around the difference between when you have to demonstrate even chance events and also likely and unlikely. Now you'll see here, I've got a pink peg, a Duplo block, and a fantail. Who doesn't love lollies? Now, the reason for this, we're using concrete materials today to be able to demonstrate a range of items that anybody should be able to access at home. It might be Hot Wheels cars, it could be some fruit, the clothes pegs, anything at all really that is both a touchy-feely and also color helps, okay? So that can really help to establish your understanding. So we know that even chance events are things that have one of two or an equal chance of happening. So if I was to say to you, now you'll notice here that I'm using again household items. Here's a Tupperware dish. If we're to put this under the camera and go, I have one green and one orange block. We know that my chances of drawing an orange block, that's an even chance event, okay? Because there's an equal likelihood of me pulling a green or the orange. Doesn't have to happen, but that's the probability, okay? Where we can sometimes, what we now want to demonstrate is, if I said I want to show a likely event, the simplest way using those previous blocks that I had. So before we had an orange and a green. Sorry, I'll just get these under the camera a bit more. Orange and a green. If I said, I want you to show me a likely event, I'm now going to add one more orange block. Now, it is now likely that I'm going to draw an orange block. Why? That is because there are more orange blocks than green. Okay? I'm not going to go into certain and impossible because we've covered those, but as we know, it is certain that I would grab an orange block out of those two because there is only orange, all right? So we're going back to, this event is likely because there are more orange. Now the reverse occurs. If I was to pull a green block, okay, there's one green and two orange, okay, 2 versus 1. It is now unlikely that I'm going to pull a green. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, where some confusion may come in is if I said to you, I want you to represent a likely event, but the numbers of blocks we're going to use starts to increase. Okay, so quick refresher once more. Even chance events, 1 out of 2, okay? We've got that nailed. What we're going to do now is increase the number. So we've got 3 orange and 3 green. Now, 3 orange, 3 green, okay? It is still an even chance event that I will pull either an orange or a green block, okay? Now, this is the tricky part. Well, it doesn't have to be tricky, but this is where some people need some help to clarify. If I introduce a different color, now, let's substitute 1 green for 1 red. So I now have 3 orange, 2 green, and 1 red. So we've got 6 blocks in total, okay? If I was to ask you, what is the likelihood that I will pull an orange block? Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total blocks? The answer should still be an even chance event. Now, some people think that purely because there are more orange blocks. So see how we've got 3 orange blocks, but only 2 green and 1 red. Some people believe that it's likely or more likely that I will pull an orange block. Now it's actually not true because there are still 6 total blocks. So if I'm pulling 1 block at a time, if I put them all in this Tupperware tub, shake them around, there's still 6 blocks in that tub, okay? So my chances of pulling the orange block are still 3 chances out of 6, which is an even chance event. Where the confusion, or I guess the clarification, comes in is just because you think there are more of one color than the other colors, okay, you have to think of them as a whole number. So 3 out of 6, not 3 orange versus 2 green versus 1 red, okay? I hope that makes sense. So what we're also going to do is instead of using blocks, let's go back and we're going to use a party bag. Again, this is a good example of what you can use at home. I got a little kid's party bag, and what comes in party bags? Lollies. So as we can see here, I got 1 Fantal, 1 lollipop. Okay, my chance of pulling a Fantal out of this party bag is a 1 in 2 chance, or an even likelihood, okay? If I was to add 1 more Fantal, so now we've got 2 Fantals and 1 lollipop, it's actually more likely, or it's likely, that I will now pull a Fantal because there are 2 of those and only 1 lollipop. If I was to add a second lollipop, okay, my odds of getting, or the probability of taking a Fantal out of this bag, is still an even chance event. Why? Because there are 2 Fantals and 2 lollipops. Now, even though these lollipops are different, don't be confused by thinking there are 2 of the same Fantal, but there's 1 orange lollipop and 1 cola lollipop, okay? They still count as lollipops. We're not looking at the individual colors here, okay? One more example. Let's use my cap. Why not? Because we're using household items, okay? Anything around, and we're going to use our pegs. I'll just move the cap for a moment. So I've got some clothes pegs. We've got pink, we've got blue, we've got different colors, okay? Again, you use whatever you've got at home to demonstrate. So parents and helpers, what we're trying to establish is that we're always looking at the total number, not what is represented in individual colors. So if I said we're after the likelihood of pulling a white peg, okay? So there's only 3 white pegs there, as we know. It's certain that I'm going to pull a white peg. We've established certain and impossible. If I was to add in, we've got 3 white, 2 blue, and 1 pink. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pegs, okay? My chances of drawing a white peg out of my hat that we're going to let our children pull them out of is still an even chance event. Why? Because it's 3 out of a total 6. If I was to remove, obviously, a blue, then it's 3 out of 5. So now that event is likely. Why? Because 3 out of a possible 5. There are more white pegs than any other color. The trick comes back into it, and this is where we're trying to give some visual and also some hands-on reference as to how we can overcome this little conundrum, is just because you think there are more white ones, it's actually not more likely that you're going to pull a white peg, okay? So yes, there are more white pegs, but there are also the same number of pegs in total. So we've got 1 pink and 2 blue, that's 3 pegs. We've also got 3 white pegs here. I'm trying to use my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So a child may look at this and go, no, I know it's more likely that I'm going to pull a white peg because there are more white pegs in the hat. So the answer in this case would still be an even chance event. Now, one more example. Make sure that we are 100% solid. Let's go back to the Duplo because I love Duplo blocks and so do my boys. All right, even chance we've established. Let's pick blue. So we're going for blue. It's an even chance event. And why not, let's introduce another household item. We've got a pink bowl. So we've got a blue and an orange block. Shake them around, let your child pull them out. It's an even chance event, okay? If we were to add some more items, or some more Duplo blocks, I should say, we're gonna add a blue one. So we're going for blue. It's now more likely that I will pull a blue block out of my my sample because there are more blues. There are 2 blue versus 1 orange. So 2 out of 3. It's likely that I'm going to pull a blue. It's not certain because there's still that orange one. And it's definitely not impossible, it's likely, okay? If we add an orange, okay, that event is, you guessed it, even chance. 2 blue, 2 orange, okay? We could, what I'm going to do, final demonstration. Now this is where we're testing, okay? We're testing their knowledge. Let's see if they get this right. 2 blue, 1 orange, 1 green. It's still even chance, okay? 2 blue, 2 other blocks. Okay, so we're focusing on what are my chances of pulling a blue block? It's 2 out of 4, okay? It's not likely just because there's 2 blue and only 1 orange and 1 green, okay? So, key point to remember, you're looking at the total number, okay? You're not just looking at individual colors. So I hope that's helped some of you at home. Use this as a resource. Parents, carers, helpers, friends, big brothers and sisters, make sure if you want to help your grade 2 little person understand the probability of chance, and in particular the difference between even chance and likely, this is the way to do it. All right, good luck guys.